So quick little video. Because I've been working, all the videos I've been posting recently, they're old footage that I've got with my friends. It's pretty fun. I know these kind of videos I make, they get like 7 views, 0 comments. Let's go. But anyways, I just thought I'd hop on and make content when I just feel like it. Anything can be a piece of content if you make it. But I came on here because I was just thinking like, okay, sometimes like this weekend, for example. So I've been working as a camp instructor the last few weeks. So I've only been home on weekends for the last 2 weeks because I've been residential, meaning staying overnight at the camp area. So yeah, I was just thinking like I come back home, and this week I'm actually a little bit sick. But I come back home and I'm wondering like, what should I do? I mean, I don't really have much to do. I mean, I've got things I can do like applications for universities, watching this football game that I played in, and taking some notes from my coach. But I've also been missing football training. But anyways, I still don't really know. Sometimes it feels like I'm wasting my time just like on Instagram or watching YouTube. But one thing that can help if you're kind of like bored or don't know what to do is just remind yourself of like your goals in life. And what I mean by that is not necessarily goals like things you want to do, but the things you value in life. So I made like a quick list of gap year goals, but also like values. So I just wrote down my 3 gap year goals and like how am I working towards that, which is like make 100K Hong Kong dollars, work at least 3 jobs, and I don't know what the last, what was the last goal I had? Plan for university. And plan for investing for university. So what to do with money, at least have some financial literacy. But just remind yourself of your values. And you might hear this in a video if I make it, about 4,000 work weeks. Great video, great book. But one of the things or tools that he mentions in that book, that he actually quotes from this like famous investor, I don't remember his name, Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett is a story. Warren Buffett was on a plane and the pilot driving on a private jet, and the pilot asked him, how do you organize your time? How do you know what to organize your time around? And Warren Buffett said, all right, so what you have to do to figure out how you want to organize your time is make a list of, not in any order, just make a list of the 20 things that you want to get out of life. So off the top of my head, time with family, probably decent amount of money, cool experiences, and you have to write 20. And he doesn't explain this, but my idea is why you want to write 20 is because sure, you might be able to write 10, maybe even 15, but those last 5 will be really hard, and so you really have to think about it. I haven't actually done this exact task yet, probably should, but you write 20 things out, and then you make a list from 1 to 20 on the most important to least important. And then you look at your top 5 and you organize your time around those 5 things. So probably, if you looked at it, probably money for me just would not cut it. So if it came down to a decision of, am I going to go out with my family for dinner or stay working the extra hours? I don't really enjoy the money, but with my job it's a little different, even though I'm staying overnight, because obviously it's like an experience that I'm learning and developing skills. Learning is probably one of them. I want to get out of life, just learn about knowledge and about people and develop strong relationships. That's probably another one, because I feel like that's what life is all about as humans. We're so lucky. But anyways, a bit off topic, because that's not it. You want to surround your 5 around the top 5 things, but everything after the 5 you want to avoid at all costs. And you're probably like, what? Why? Well, actually, if you think about it, it makes sense, because the top 5 things, because you don't have enough time, so basically you can't spend it on all things. But the idea is the top 5 things you value, they're the ones that are important enough for you that you should dedicate your time to them. But everything after are the goals or the things you want to get out of life that are seductive enough to be goals, but unimportant enough that you're wasting your time, because obviously they're not important enough, they're not in the top 5. So yeah, if you're ever wondering, like you're stuck, I'm feeling bored, what should I do on the weekend? Just think to yourself the 5 goals, 5 things you want to get out of life, and how can you surround your time with that? Like for example, right now I've like got like some flu symptoms and I'm feeling a little bit down, not down, like sick, overall tired. But actually yesterday my dad was like, oh, Mateo, I'm going to start barbecuing. And then I just kind of stayed on the couch, walked on my phone. And I knew like, I could go down and talk to my dad and stuff. But then for some reason I just was like, oh, but I like watching these videos on YouTube. And so I didn't, but it would have been better to probably have gone, because I was thinking if I died because then later I was thinking like, if I died right now and I went back to life and I could go back in time, I probably would have killed to be able to go back down there. So yeah, just don't lose sight of those 5 things you value. And if you don't know what to do on a weekend or on a day when you have free time, just think, how are you working towards these values, or how are you embracing these values in your daily life? And is there any way you can do it? And one thing I'll probably do today that's going to help me embrace those values is, if, for example, one of them is watching this video on my football game, because I've been just kind of pushing it off. It's a game that happened 2 weeks ago. I'm kind of bored. But anyway, something I'm going to do later today is probably just go walk my dog, get out in nature, sense and experience the real world, and going for a walk, just clear my mind, and maybe even doing some breath work, some meditation. I mean, I don't normally do meditation or something, I don't know. But yeah, just something like that. Something get out of the house and just like kind of embrace nature and the air. I should actually do that. I shouldn't just say I'm gonna do that. But yeah, quick little video. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the videos. But yeah, make those 20 lists of things, find your top 5 and focus on them, spend your time with them, and just refocus yourself when you feel you're getting a little bit distracted. And also, I feel like one thing that's important is to have some kind of vision, some kind of thing you're working towards, but not get too obsessed on if you're heading that direction. Don't lose sight of your vision. Like, don't start going in the opposite direction, but like, let's say you're going in a straight line, like you can go off to the left. You could technically do a little loop-de-loop. And instead of going straight to your target, you can just do a little loop-de-loop on the sides. It doesn't matter, as long as you kind of have something you're working towards, some kind of meaning, and you're not just like living off impulse. All right, peace. Hope you enjoyed. It's probably more for me than you, but yeah, little video is gonna come out next Saturday because I'm trying to keep the post to 1 week, and I didn't have time to edit my Sri Lanka vlogs that I made with my family a while ago. All right, peace.